Hello everyone. Hello Robin, how are you doing?
Hey, Sneha, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How was your Monday?
Just like any other Monday, I barely made it to this meeting, but yeah, here I am.
Yeah, we have also like Ashish was supposed to take this call.
Yeah,
He has another call and we have like one other call to jump off after this call. So yeah, that's
yep.
how it is on
That's a
Mondays
good thing.
actually.
A good thing though.
Yeah.
Better to be
Yeah.
busy than have no work to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's start off with the AMA, right?
Yeah,
So Swagat, Ganesh, if you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat or raise your hand. I can make you come on the stage. Or if not, I'll ask few questions then. Till then.
sure.
Mm,
I remember. I think some of them. I think Swagat was there for the kickoff call as well, and
yeah.
I believe Ganesh. I think you were there. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, you know, like it says, ask me anything.
Yeah. So I saw your LinkedIn profile. Like from
Hmm.
morning, I am seeing your LinkedIn profile. So
Okay.
it's pretty like you have done your engineering, then your MSc, then your MBA, right? So what made you interested and what point that you wanted to shift to sales and SaaS?
So, actually engineering was because, in India, I mean, as traditionally in traditional families, you have three or four options, right? It's like you have either have to become a doctor, a chartered accountant, or an engineer, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and engineering seemed like the kind of path of least resistance for me.
Yeah.
And so I did that. Um, but uh, so actually, I the MSc really is actually in management. So it's not
Okay.
necessarily an MS. So I always knew, even when I was doing engineering, I realized pretty early on that I did not want to spend my time sort of glued to a computer screen and coding. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that, but I'm just more of a people person. And so I think pretty early on, I realized that, okay, I am doing my engineering. So what is kind of the best way to make the best of this? And having spoken to a few people, I realized that getting an MBA would be ideal. So I did that. I actually moved to the US to get my MBA, and the MS is actually, so it's basically a double master. So I after I moved to the US, I was lucky enough to have access to a exchange program with my
Yeah.
university. So when I was doing my MBA, I was actually able to go over to France for a year and get that MS, which is also in management. So I've always known that I wanted to do something which is more client facing.
Yeah.
So the MBA really was kind of an easy choice,
Yeah.
and so that's kind of how it came about.
Yeah. So it usually tends to be that MBA is good degree when we need to go more about people, like know more about people managing and
Sure,
those skills.
sure.
And I guess at that time MBA was good option, but now since like even I love talking to people and
Yeah,
I'm in still undergrad and I know like for a couple of years I'll not do MBA. That's like
sure. Yeah,
yeah. So next, let's go to SmartCue. Like, when
sure.
did you got this key? Chalo, let's start SmartCue. Like, what was that point key? It's needed in the industry. Like, I could see. I was in a sales team, and when I saw the SmartCue, I was like, "Arey, this could have helped me more." Yeah.
So it's funny you say that because while the company itself is new in the sense that I started it at the beginning of 2021, the idea for SmartQ I think was there with me for years. Uh, you know After I got my MBA and all of that, I spent about almost 12 years in the B2B SaaS space in the US, selling primarily to enterprise clients, and really my role was at the intersection of sales and product, so to say,
Mm.
right? So, when I was part of sales teams, I watched as the sales reps struggled really to do justice to the products that we were selling because they were doing either very vanilla, very cookie cutter demos and pitches. Um, as part of my role, one of the mandates was to train or enable the sales team to do better product demos. So,
Yeah.
so my team and I, we implemented a number of different solutions at the time, but none of them really worked. And one of the big aha moments for me was when, during one of these implementations and training sessions, one of the sales reps came up to me and said, "Hey, this efficiency tool that you're deploying really only improves the efficiency of the folks that I report to. But for me, it's only adding friction to my workflow."
Yeah.
And that was a big sort of light bulb moment for me, because it makes sense when you think about a lot of, in today the hot term is sales enablement, right? During my time, really, it was just sales readiness, sales efficiency, sales training, right?
Yeah.
uh, when you think about it, a majority of these sales enablement platforms are geared towards sales leaders, which
Yeah.
means that, okay, if you deploy our tool, you as a sales leader will have visibility into what your entire sales force is doing. You'll get better reporting, better analytics. You'll be able to control how the sales team functions.
Yeah.
When you think about it, that's a fundamental problem, because at the end of the day, the solution for it to be successful needs to be used by the sales rep. And
Yeah.
if you are not able to make the life of that sales rep easier, you are going to have a huge problem with adoption, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I think if you talk to any salesperson, you ask them, "Hey, do you like your CRM?" They'll be like, "Hell no," right?
Yeah.
It's like, I do it because I'm forced to do it,
Yeah.
not because I love it, right? And does it improve your life? They're like, "Not really."
Yeah.
Right, it's like, all I really want to do is be able to track my follow-ups, be able to follow up with my clients, be able to, I should really know where my client is, and when I should be kind of trying to close the deal and things like that. I don't need the 500 other things that my boss is asking me to do using a CRM,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Makes
why
sense.
there's always a challenge, right? When you're implementing these solutions, there's a whole different team whose only job is to make sure that the team is adopting and using this
Yeah.
new tool that you're trying to deploy. And Post COVID, right? Post COVID, this became even more of a problem, because now you can't have these, kind of these offsites and training sessions where you can train all of your, or at least certify all of your salespeople to be able to sell. And now the salesperson can't really go out, wine and dine, and schmooze your prospects. Now you have a 30-minute Zoom call where really all you can do is let your product shine. So if you as a salesperson are not able to do a killer product demo, you're going to really struggle, right? And so to cut a long story short, those two things, that sort of that light bulb moment from my sales rep, and then virtual selling becoming so much more commonplace because of COVID, I think those two things really combined to kind of push me over the edge, saying that, I think someone needs to build this tool, right? Someone needs to build this solution to make the life of a salesperson easier, and to enable them to really do the best, most personalized product demo possible. I
Yeah.
hope
At
that
the end,
helps.
they will be the fir- yeah. At the end, they will be the first ones to pitch to a
Yeah,
client. And if
exactly,
they are confused or at like any moment they are stuck, the other one would be like, "Arey, what happened?
exactly,
He kya chal raha
exactly.
hai?" Yeah. So I guess we have two people who are Ganesh has. I'm putting him on the stage. He
Okay,
raised the hand.
okay.
Yeah. Hi Ganesh. You can put on your camera. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Yanesh.
Hey Robin, how are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good, Robin. I really like your energy on Monday evening, bro.
Well, I mean, it makes you do that, right? When you're on camera and people are going to ask questions, and if I don't have energy, I can't imagine this going anywhere.
That's true, though. What I really like about energy is, you are so excited about your product. Yeah,
Well, I guess I have to be, right? If
you
if
have
uh,
to be.
if
I
if
know.
I'm not excited about my own product, I think I'm not a good founder.
That's really true. But you most founders don't. At least startup founders. Not most, but yeah, I've seen pretty much enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me more. Tell me more about what you do at Chintamani and yeah, I mean, if you have a question, sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm a founding team member in Chintamani. 2017 we started off, and
Nice,
we are about to close our series round in like 1-2 months from now.
nice.
This is a personal finance budgeting application which is
Okay,
backed by UPI, so that
okay.
you do a sort of proactive budgeting rather than doing
Hmm.
reactive budgeting. That can
Got
help
it.
people reduce on their impulse buying. So that's our
Okay.
that's our main motto. We want to make
Nice.
sure that people are aware of their cash flows at every given point in time.
Mhm.
Yeah, and yeah, 2017 we started off, and we are going really good.
Nice.
It's been a spectacular journey in Chintamani, as well as my career life. I mean, I
That's
started
awesome.
my career life with Chintamani, so yeah.
That's awesome. So how do you compare Chintamani to Mint, for example, in the US, right? I mean, which is kind of the pinnacle of budgeting tools or softwares that are out there.
That's
And
true.
you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. I know this is a ask me anything and not ask you anything,
No,
but
that's a really interesting question, Robin.
hmm,
Mint is again a reactive budgeting. That's what I said. That's where we stand out. You sort of do your budgeting before you get your money on the hand, and
hmm,
you spend. Uh, you sort of reconcile before you spending. So you're quite aware of, say, if your entertainment, you have set like 5,000 rupees for your
yeah,
entertainment, and you're planning for a trip worth like 15-20K.
yeah,
You instantly know that you're going over budget.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
can hit your rent
yeah.
or probably insurance premium next.
Sure, sure. So who's your ICP? Is it like the younger audience? Is that
Yeah. I mean, we are. I mean, we started off saying we're going to help all teenagers, 18 to 24, and then
got
we
it?
realized that the problem is not very specific to that age group.
Hmm, correct.
So we are sort of navigating towards more towards category which are in need rather than defining them on age group or demographic.
Okay, okay,
So yeah,
okay.
currently we are working with a lot of other user personas, which I can't reveal right now. But
It's
yeah,
okay.
that can help us, get a better reach. Also,
Sure.
probably create more impact on the society by solving a better use cases, much more than
Yeah.
budgeting, probably taxation, so on and so forth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's where
Awesome.
we are into.
Very interesting.
Yeah, cool. Robin, I did not get enough time to go through your platform today. I thought I'll do it.
Oh no, get
Yes.
him off stage. I'm kidding. Kidding.
That's okay. Because I have you,
I'm
probably
kidding.
you
I'm
are the best
kidding.
person that I could talk to about your project, so that I get more understanding than I could
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure.
digging deep down to your platform. Although maybe a couple of questions will make you repeat the same things what you did last time, what you explained
Hmm,
last time, but I think it's fine.
sure.
I want to know what is your. I mean, you can just brief me about your onboarding flow right now, customer onboarding flow. What is the activation rate? What is the activation time?
Hmm,
And how is the LTV like? LTV is not really important for me to judge the onboarding process, but that sort of helps me to see if there's any changes that we should be doing with the user person. I'm sure you would have done that better, but I just need to.
sure. So I think I said it last time that
Yeah.
that we're too early to have all of these metrics down to a fact, right?
Mhm.
But let me start with your last question because actually that's something that we worked on prior to actually starting to build the product out, right?
Mhm.
So really the LTV for an ideal user that we would have is anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000, $3,500 for per user, right?
Mhm.
That's our LTV.
In terms of
And
time,
I'm sorry.
like how long would they stay in your platform for? What's the
Yeah. So on average, I can anticipate that people would stay between 3 to 5 years.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and the logic there is that if you're a sales rep, right, at a SaaS company,
Mhm.
uh, sure, you'll get trained, you'll get better equipped to use your product, but your product is also going to evolve. There's
Correct.
going to be new features all the time. You're probably going to get into newer markets, and so what that will do is that will sort of change your that'll change your approach, that'll change your pitch, that'll change your messaging. And with SmartCue you're sort of able to do that. And just like Chintamani, we also have a bunch of additional use cases that are coming up,
Mhm.
which I think will extend the life of a user on the platform, and as they grow in their role, uh, from a sales rep to a BD to an AE to VP or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's where we are in terms of LTV. In terms of the onboarding process, I would actually encourage you to experience it.
I'll
And
surely do that.
yeah. I think that's the best way to really know the onboarding process. And I think the one of the big asks itself from this group was to help
Was
us fine tune and refine our onboarding process.
correct.
It's not great. I mean, we know it, right? And I mean, for a product that's really been out there for maybe a couple of months, uh, the onboarding wasn't necessarily our focus at the time. Our focus was to solve the key problem that we were trying to, and handhold our first initial customers through the product. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I mean that's where it is. Again, it's nothing to write home about, because when you talk about retention rates, I'll say it's 100%, because the customers who are paying us right now are with us. They've been with us. They like it. They use the product, right? We track, like, instead of daily or monthly, we track weekly active users.
Mhm.
Just because I think the nature of our
Yeah.
product is, like, it's
Correct.
not necessarily something that people will use every day, but they should. If they're a sales rep, we should be doing on average like 6 to 12 demos a week, right? And
That's
for
great.
us,
Mhm.
right, if you're a good sales rep, right, and if you have a good sort of lead gen team that is kind of bringing in your leads, and you're doing demos. So we kind of have that metric that we track, and it's looking healthy for our paid customers. I think we struggle with our free pilot customers right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think part of it is onboarding, because I think we struggle with showing those users why they should be using SmartCue, how they can use SmartCue with their own products, and what
Mhm.
value they can get out of it. The
Mhm.
folks who we've been able to handhold, they're like,
Mhm.
they instantly get it. They're like, oh my God, like, I spent 5 months trying to train my inside sales rep team,
Mhm.
but using this, I can actually do it in hours,
Mhm.
right? And there is an instant value that the
Mhm.
product can provide to us.
Understood.
Now that is something that we need to solve for through the product itself, as opposed to hiring a bunch of people who will sort of onboard people.
Okay. For the okay. Okay, for the early adopters,
Yeah.
I mean, what is your current onboarding processes like? I mean, is it only a web-based system, or do you, probably meet them in person and discuss? I mean, online or offline? How is the process right now? Like,
It is so for every user that we've
Mhm.
onboarded them on a 45-minute Zoom call, in-person Zoom call, right? In person, or whatever you want to call it, virtual Zoom call.
Okay.
So that's on average how long it takes for us to onboard. And for me,
Mhm.
what onboarding means is someone signing up,
Mhm.
someone taking their existing demo script, which is maybe in a Word document, Excel file, wherever it is, and then being able to convert or translate that into SmartCue, and then
Mhm.
using SmartCue to run their own demo. Once they run their own demo, that's what we call a successful onboarding,
Okay.
right? And up until now, for all of the users that we've had, it's been a 45-minute Zoom call is has been par for the course.
Understood. Understood. Give me a second.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
guess Ganesh has asked all the questions which everyone would have asked, and I think
I have the last question.
Ganesh, yeah, Ganesh will be like having the best PRD this time.
Let's
Yeah, I
hope
hope so.
so.
If
He
you can
literally
take time out from your own product.
I'll make time for that. So
Perfect.
you meant onboarding flow also includes running their own demo using SmartCue, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you guys tracking that? I mean, do you get to know how many users are using your platform while they're demoing to the customers?
It's the flip, right? We
Uh,
track that someone has used our platform to run their demo. Like if you're running your demo, I won't know, whether you've
I
run
get
your
that.
demo or not, right? I will only know if you've used my product
Correct.
to run your demo.
Correct. Okay. Okay. And what is what I believe is this 45 minutes Zoom call
Yeah.
will help you connect to the customer
Hmm.
and explain him the process and make him get to know how to use SmartClow. Correct.
Yep.
What is the time between say if I am the customer, me
Yeah.
getting to know SmartClow
Yeah.
to the point in time where I actually use SmartClow for my second project or third project? Say if the natural frequency of a salesperson is say weekly,
Hmm.
what is the second time that the user comes back to the platform to the SmartClow to use this?
Yeah. So that's the weekly active user count that we have,
That's
right?
weekly. Okay.
Yeah. So for example, Monday is when I've onboarded Nyanesh and I've set him up with his own SmartCue demo of Chintamani, right?
Okay.
Now, if I've done a good job and if Nyanesh has actually understood the product and its value,
Mhm.
then I expect that, my question will be like, okay, you're set up now. When is your next customer demo?
Mhm.
And you'll say tomorrow. So I
Mhm.
expect to see Nyanesh run SmartKey at least a couple of times tomorrow.
Right.
One maybe prior to his client demo, so that he's like, okay, did I really understand it properly? Can I run
Mhm.
my demo or not? And then one during my product demo, right? So that's kind of how we'll track it. And then going down the line, we actually we are building in integrations to the CRM, to your calendars and stuff like that. So we'll know that, hey, you know what, this person has X number of client demos on his calendar this week. How many times are they actually using SmartQueue to do these demos?
That's a very good metric to track. Probably that's a
Yeah.
monster if I could say that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Um, Robin, as of now, because I've not gone through your product, these are questions that I have. I want to know if you will be available on the Slack so that I can just ping you on the Slack. And
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
great, cool.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
I'm sorry not to be so prepared to ask you questions very
No,
specific
no,
on
it's
the product.
so now you're on the spot, Nyanesh. Now you actually have to go in, experience the product, and I actually want to hear from a product person's perspective what you think of the product, what you think of the onboarding flow, what you think we could perhaps add to add more value to our to the platform. And the reason I'm interested is because a couple
Mhm.
of our customers actually are now using SmartCue for their product teams, not their sales
Wow.
teams.
Wow.
They are saying that, hey, you know what, we want a couple more licenses, which our product team will use to whenever they have new product features that are built out, instead of sending out the email, which is like, product release notes or whatever, we want them to actually just add those product release notes or features or whatever to an instance of a SmartQueue demo script. Use that to train internally all of their product folks, maybe new product folks. Secondly, we want them to come and present to whoever, like whether it's a sales teams or product marketing teams, to explain to them how the product works and why they've built the feature that they've built,
I
right?
anticipate an exponential growth there.
Well, so we
Thanks.
like I hope so, right? For me, the good part was that instead of saying that, oh, we don't have a use for your product, they said, hey, we have an additional use
Yeah,
case.
correct.
So that was good for me. Now I
Mhm.
need to figure out if that market is large enough for me to actually pursue, and will people pay me for that, right? Because
Right.
then I get into the territory of enabling product walkthroughs and all of that, which is a very crowded space in itself.
Correct. Uh, I'm actually excited to use SmartClow for my product demos.
All right.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's why I was really excited to hear that from you.
As
Uh,
long as it's a web-based product. Because I don't know if yours is a mobile product or web-based product.
It's a web-based product. I mean,
then I think we're
all
good.
the product is on the phone, but we do
Yeah.
demos using web. So I think I
Got
can
it.
use.
Oh, so you use Figma or something, or
Yeah, we
to
do
do
use
demos?
Yeah.
Okay. So it probably won't work, but let me know. Yeah.
So right now, you said you're spending 45 minutes on the Zoom call.
Hmm.
I'm sure you would have thought about this to sort of, coming up with different onboarding process. Did you try a couple of strategies? And if yes, what are they, so that, I can
Yeah.
make some
So we have tried something, and that is the one that you will experience when you download the product.
Okay, what is that you tried? And
So the thing that we tried is, now when you first sign up for the product, right? We actually walk a user through creating their first demo in like an interactive manner, right? Using just right after sign up, that let's actually take you through it. The idea being that if we actually show them, just get them a little bit more comfortable with what they are going to see when they actually download the Chrome extension or the desktop app, the odds of them actually using it on their own might be higher. Have we perfected it? I don't think so, but that's kind of the direction that we're going. That, hey, you know what? And gradually, I think what we'll start to do is we'll actually try and set it up such that when you're doing your onboarding and you're creating your first demo, you're actually creating using your own product. Now that's obviously a lot more trickier, but that's kind of the North Star, that without us doing anything, you'll set up your own demo for your own product, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I assume the aha moment is user creating his first demo project or
100%.
demo presentation?
100%.
Perfect.
Actually, I think there's a nuance there.
Uh-huh.
The aha moment, there's two aha moments. One is, I've created my demo script essentially, right? Oh, okay, click here, say this, click here, say this, click here, say this. The real aha moment comes when I actually run that demo.
Correct.
Right? That, okay, I've created it. Now what? How do I actually use what I've created for my prospect demo?
Okay.
Right? And that's the aha moment. Once you experience that, you're like, oh my God. Like, I mean, and those are literally the expressions we've had from some of our initial users. They're like, oh, this is crazy. It's like, now I don't have to think about like, oh, I forgot to tell them about this, or, oh, what was the statistic about, this case study that we had? I can't remember that. Like,
Perfect.
oh no, I already fed it in to my demo script, and now when I run it, I know exactly that, hey, if I'm talking about this module, I really want to highlight this specific case study that we did, which is actually relevant to this customer.
Understood. That makes sense. Yeah. What is the experiments that you have tried for onboarding but probably did not work out?
No, this is the first couple experiments that we're doing, right? So that's how early we are.
Understood.
Yeah,
I really appreciate the product manager there. I mean, if you are handling the product, I really appreciate the thought process.
I mean,
That
I
looks like
hope
a fine
it
product itself. Sorry.
I hope it pans out, because I am the product manager, I am the sales head, I am also the fundraising manager. So it's like trying to do everything is not easy.
I know. We are in the same boat on the different directions.
Correct.
Hey, Robin, thank you so much for answering my questions. Probably I'll ping you on
Happy to.
Slack for a couple of them.
Sounds good.
We'll catch up soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Yes.
So one thing was like to summarizing Ganesh, like one is integrations with CRM and calendar. Those features would be like, I think those features would be coming from our participants. Now you have
Sure.
cleared it. I guess they'll
Yes.
put some more things there
I
on the
hope
plate.
so.
Yeah. And other was the ones which like sparkled my eyes were like the ones you talked about, the internal team coming up with the product team coming with internal team. So the product teams does do feature like whenever new feature comes in, we have to be like go there and tell every whole company to that it's our
Correct.
new product, it's our new feature. And
Yes.
even now, if we are going for a PH launch, if you know product and launch, so
Yes.
now we have to explain what are the processes. So I think this would be like a great enhancement to the product. Yeah, that's in my mind.
Right.
So now, yeah. these things like once a product is used for multiple teams, it makes more sense. Just not
Yes, exactly. The idea is that we basically become indispensable to
yeah
any organization that we're selling it to.
yeah. A tool can be used to all the teams makes it more
Yeah,
better, I guess.
yes, absolutely.
Now there is a kind of personal question. Swagat, you
Oh,
want to come on stage? If you want to come, like I'll put on your stage or I'll ask your question. So he has a question is yeah okay. Why MBA abroad, not in IIMs?
I mean, maybe I was just not smart enough to get into IMs. But I mean, it's not it wasn't necessarily anything groundbreaking really. I went the route that most people do, right? You give your GATs and you give your GMAT. I lucked out and I did decently well on GMAT, and I went abroad, and I got a full scholarship, so that was easy. It's like that made the decision easier, right?
Yeah.
I had a couple of admission calls here in India, but uh, it was like, oh, I get to go abroad and I don't have to pay for it. It was kind of
Mm.
an easy decision, so that's why I went abroad.
That's how we Indians work. Like if there is something which comes with a scholarship, it's easier to us to opt in that decision. I
Sure,
guess like
yeah,
it
yeah,
makes
yeah,
our like multiple questions come to a single answer. I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Sharon joined in. Do you want to ask question, Sharon? If yes, I could put you on stage. Till then, can you like tell more about what I could say? There is something called Scout in your LinkedIn profile, and I have seen
Hmm.
the same thing to many LinkedIn profiles. Could you explain more? It's more of my curiosity question.
Sure, sure. So I am a scout for SHL.VC. So SHL.VC is a early stage fund that was started by Sahil Lavingya.
Mhm.
Some of the tech folks actually may know Sahil. He is the founder of Gumroad.
Yeah, I know, and
And
he's
so
also author of the Minimalist book. Yeah,
yeah, it just came
yeah,
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
correct. So Sahil and I were sort of neighbors when I lived in Portland, Oregon. So I got to know him a little bit, and even when we were there, we used to kind of meet from time to time. And uh, because I was there, because I've been there for about 10, 12 years, I'd built up a network. So he was always interested in startups and places to invest. So I'd like kind of send a few founders his way. And I moved back to India in late 2018. At that time, Sahil was actually, contemplating this idea of democratizing this scouting game, right? Which is that, hey, you bring me deal flow and I'll give you a percentage. So when I actually moved back to India, he basically said that, hey, I mean, there's a crazy amount of activity happening in India when it comes to the startup world. So if you come across any startups that you think I should invest in or talk to, can you send them my way? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then he kind of formalized that program and called it Scouts. So that's when I kind of became a scout. So if you are a early stage founder who's looking for funding and would like me to sort of present your startup to Sahil, let me know and I'd be happy to forward it on. The investment decision, of course, still rests completely with him. I do not play any part in it.
At least in coming couple of years, I'll come to you for the same.
Sure,
Yeah. So,
of course.
yeah, Swagat, I guess, can you list down the points that Robin was talking about? Chiaramban, and the other one was he was talking about the integrations. I'll put it in the Slack, which he told. He was
Sure.
talking about integrations, then integration with CRM, and also he talked about how the product could make other teams enabling, not only just to stick into sales team. Swagat,
Yep.
if that answers, like if I have summarized. quite
Yeah,
everywhere.
it's okay. Or I mean, it doesn't matter what I've said, right? I mean, approach it
Yes.
with a clean slate. Feel free to put in your PRDs and stuff like that. Doesn't matter if we've thought of it. What matters is folks like you suggesting things that validate what we've been thinking might be valuable to our prospects. So that's absolutely fine. And yeah, ping me on Slack if you'd like.
Uh, Naman, if you have any questions, Naman is our product manager.
Oh, cool.
Naman, if you have any questions for him. Mm. Or Sharon, if you have any questions, you could put it in Slack or raise hand. Who are your primary competitors?
Who are my primary competitors? That's a good question,
Yeah.
and it is also complicated. Uh, the reason being that so some companies that you may have heard of who are in the sales enablement space, right, are Gong, for example, Gong.io. You may have heard of Wingman, for example. You may have heard of Mindtickle. Mindtickle is just recently became a unicorn,
Yeah.
right? Now the thing is that all of them do sales enablement, but they tackle the sales enablement is broad, right? So they tackle different aspects of it, and a lot of it is post facto analyses, audio analyses of your sales calls and stuff like that. Now it is very different from the problem that we are solving, right? Which is actually in stream when you're actually doing the demo to nudge you and prompt you to actually ask the right questions, message your product the right way. Uh, we are in stream, whereas a lot of these solutions are post facto, right? Or they are training solutions, which is
Yep.
pre-facto, basically, right? Now, which is fine. So I mean, it sort of makes our positioning clear. But the problem is that we are all competing for the same share of wallet. A sales leader has a particular budget assigned for everything: training, tools, enablement, right? So whatever we end up competing, what whoever however we pitch ourselves, we are still going to come up against certain competitors who they'll be like, well, but we use this for sales enablement, or but we've already budgeted for this tool, right? So that's a real challenge for us, of how do we distinguish ourselves clearly enough, so that we separate ourselves from the pack, and demonstrate to the sales leaders that the value that SmartCue is providing to your sales team is actually additive to all of these other tools that you're spending money on, right? It's not a competition,
Yeah.
right? As a matter of fact, one of our clients wants us to integrate with Gong, because they're like, well, we use Gong so that we can listen to our sales folks doing these demos, and then decide, okay, where we went wrong, how we should change our pitch. What we did not have with Gong is the ability to implement those changes and ensure that those changes actually flow down to every one of our salespeople. So they're like, we want to be able to do that with SmartCue, right? If we find out that, oh, we need to change X, Y, and Z in our pitch, now we want to use SmartCue, make those changes so that now uh, the learnings that we had from our analytics and Gong are now implemented and being used across the stream by our entire sales team. So that's the pro that, yeah, we've heard that people are like, oh, the people who get it, they for them it's been an easy decision, like, yeah, no, totally makes sense. I don't want to, it's not that I'm paying, I'm duplicating my costs by paying for Gong and for SmartCue. I'm actually getting more value for my dollar by having both tools. So those are some of the competitors. There are a ton more. Again, in the broad space, we compete against LMS systems, for example. because they are also, in a way, they are for training and enablement. But again, if you think about it, this happens in a sort of a static environment. This happens not when you're talking to a client. This is not interactive. This doesn't necessarily, those tools don't necessarily allow you to be hands-on with your own product, right? It's just like video recordings or multiple choice questions and things, so on and so forth, right? So that's another bucket of companies that we compete with. And when I speaking of the product use case, right? Our product teams using it, where we sort of start getting into the avenue of product walkthroughs and product tutorials. There, I mean, I think there's a ton of other tools as well. There's like WalkMe, there's Help Hero, and bunch of those other tools that are there, and which are pretty good tools. I've used them myself. But yeah, yeah, I hope that helps you get at least a sense of the landscape.
Also, knowing to the fact that if all the features are not matched, then it's not your direct competitor. And if someone
Yes.
comes with your feature which is your like a main thing, then it can be competitor. So
Sure.
it can't be like fixed thinking, Arey, these are only our competitors. Like, I guess that's a
Yeah.
ambiguous question we can ask is who is your primary and secondary competitor. That's my
Sure.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, knowing to the fact, anyhow, if, as you said at the end, like if you add new features, then you will be coming up adding your competitor list way more
Yes. 100%.
every
100%.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any more questions? Anyone? Like, we have Swagat, we are, and Sharan and Naman. If you have any questions, you could just put it in the chat, or you could raise hand. I'll put it you on stage. Mm,
Yeah, guys. I mean, you are here, so you obviously have some curiosity. So feel free to
yeah,
ask me. You have another 15 minutes, and there's no such thing as a bad question.
Sharan is there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yes, Sharon.
Sharan, you're on stage.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like hoping that I could talk with Robin in Slack after this, but since we have time, I'll ask my question.
sure.
I tried to like download the product
Okay,
SmartCue on my laptop. I have a
okay,
Windows 11.
okay.
Uh, it had like I wasn't able to open it, and using the Chrome plugin, I couldn't. I didn't know how to use it. uh,
Hmm.
like I know that we'll first have to like indent or annotate using the Chrome plugin and then go to the Windows application. So
Correct.
uh, like could you tell me how to use the Chrome plugin? I mean
Yeah. So if your Chrome plugin is not opening,
hmm,
it may be because you don't have any other website open. If you have any web-based product open, so like I don't know, for example, even Airmeet or open up a Zoho or a HubSpot or a Salesforce or any web-based product that runs in Chrome, open that up, and then when you open the Chrome extension, it should open up. And once it does open up, you can then start sort of creating your demo, adding your steps, adding your script and stuff like that.
okay. I tried to I tried to open it with some website open. It didn't work for me. I don't know why.
Hmm. Send me like a Loom video recording or something like that, and if you can send your sort of system specs, I think that'll help.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I could send it to you by Slack, right? Would that be
yeah,
good
of
enough?
course, of course, that's
Okay,
fine. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but
Yeah,
having a video or at least some screenshots will help, because otherwise, without context, I won't really know.
yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, yeah, when I tried to download it in Windows, it said that the app, it said the app was Windows is defending the app and do not run in. It was like showing that Defender, a Windows Defender message. that I should not install it and things like those.
Yeah, it should not happen. I think we solved that issue, and we are, we have a certificate and stuff like that, so it shouldn't happen. But again, a screenshot or a video recording will be helpful.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And if you're open to share your username, just your username. Don't share your password, just your username. So we'll be able to track
Yeah,
that.
yeah, okay. I'll share it on Slack.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah,
That's
thank you.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sharan.
I guess Sharan has used your product. Like
Yeah, that's good.
he
That's good, but it's also bad that it didn't work for him. So I kind of feel bad.
yeah,
I
it
take that
happens.
personally.
It happens. Yeah, it happens few times. Like we
Sure.
can't
Yeah.
do that. So
Yeah, and
Swagat is like,
that's the whole part of onboarding, right? I mean,
yeah.
that's what I want to get right.
Yeah. So that's what we do. Like since you are still building a team, we could help on it. Since now in our company, someone joins in, we are the first users of our product. So
Correct.
it's our first task just to go and read our documentation.
Yes.
If someone said, "Ki, Arey, I couldn't understand," then it's our documentation problem that
Yes.
a third man couldn't understand it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so Swagat needs deadline extension. So just to keep a note, the deadline is 12th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to extend, Robin, we could extend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the deadline can be extended, but I'll still be on that Slack group. So, even afterwards, if you send me a note, I'll be happy to respond.
Yeah, since we have to end it till
Yeah.
13th.
Yeah,
So
I know. Yeah, so it's not in my hands. It's the Savo Labs team.
yeah. So deadline is 11th, 12th. Yeah, we could extend till 12th afternoon. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, Sagat, we could do by maybe 12th afternoon, since you're asking. We have call at 3:30, right?
Correct.
So we can wrap it up till then. Okay. Done. So
Awesome.
do we have
Right.
any more questions, or like should we wrap this AMA session? I guess deadline 13th would be nice. Yeah, sure. Done.
Excuse me.
Done.
Cool. I mean, I think we can wrap it up, but I do appreciate the questions that everyone had, and you had, Sneha. And like I said, I am available and active on your Slack channel. Even if it's not instant, I will respond. I have cut out time on a daily basis to kind of look at the Savo Lab Slack channel and make sure if there's any questions that are addressed to me, to sort of respond to them. So if you ping me, I will respond.
Yeah. Folks,
Okay.
do put on questions even if they're silly or even if it doesn't make sense. Put on. Even me and Ashish are there to answer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So how
All
was the
right.
AMA, Robin? Like,
You're asking
how was
me?
it?
I mean, for me, it was great. I just don't know. I hope I didn't put the participants to sleep.
No.
So yeah, for me, I enjoyed it. Like like Jnani said, I can talk about SmartCue forever. It's about whether the listener is engaged and finds what I'm saying interesting or not. So if you guys did, I'm glad. If you didn't, I'm sorry for taking up 45 minutes of your time. But hey, I'll see you in the Slack channels.
Yeah. It makes you excited more to talk about your own baby, right?
Yes,
It's,
absolutely. It is my own baby. It is my baby. Yeah, as good as my baby, because I don't have a baby. So this is it right now.
Yeah. Let's end this
Okay.
session. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone. Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you all joining.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.